Hi everyone. As promised, I'm going to start making some short and quick little tip videos of things that could help, mainly with classroom environment and classroom management type things. I'm noticing there's a lot of questions between staff for Ashley and I as far as, these kids aren't listening and this isn't working, that's not working. And so I thought making these videos for everybody to be able to see would be beneficial for you. Whether you're going into education or not, these are things that could really help here at the club as well, make things just a little bit smoother and calmer as we go through the remainder of the year. I'm going to start pretty simple with attention getters today and just talk about the importance of those and give some examples. So an attention getter is just what it sounds like. It's a way to get the kids' attention without just yelling and screaming for them. There's been lots of times as I walk around the club that I am just hearing, "Be quiet, I'm trying to get your attention, stop talking." And the more that you're yelling those things, the more frustrated you're getting because they're not listening to those things. They're either tuning it out or just ignoring that demand. Attention getters are something that they use at school pretty regularly. There's a few different types that I'll share with you as well. But it helps get their attention. It helps them know, hey, we're done talking now. It's time to listen. And part of it is that respect too. Like, I know a lot of us have said, oh, these kids just don't respect me. But it's a two-way street, and so you need to make sure that we are also showing them respect and being those adults and leaders and models for them because they may not have that at home, right? So we have to kind of be that model and that leader for them here. So using these attention getters means you're yelling less, you're getting less frustrated, and the kids know those expectations as you practice and set them up with your group. So it's something that you are going to have to practice with them if you haven't already, and even if you have, practice and have those reminders a few times throughout the year. Before break, after break, this is a busy time of year, an exciting time of year for kids. Their schedules get off. There's a lot of other extra things happening, and so they need these reminders too. So a couple examples are things like, "Hey class," that would be you as the teacher. The class then responds, "Hey what?" And as soon as they're done with that response, their voice is off and they're ready to listen. I've seen a few different variations of that where you could say, "Hey first grade," and they say, "Hey what?" I've seen where teachers just say, "Class, class," and the class would respond, "Yes, yes," things like that. There's a couple fun ones too. I like using the flat tire one, so the teacher would yell "flat tire," and the students respond with "shh." And again, it's that auditory reminder of time to be quiet. I know this one's getting a little bit old, but you can use jingles. So I've used where I would yell "Red Robin," and the kids respond with "yum," and it keeps their mouth closed with the response as well, so it helps them close that conversation. I've seen like the McDonald's jingle and other things like that, but be creative, come up with 2 or 3, because again, the more you use just one over and over, the more kids are going to start tuning it out and not listening to it anymore. Have them come up with some ideas too. They do enough of them at school. Ask them which ones they like and start using those. To practice, I have kids just turn and talk, and maybe you practice and say, "What's something you're excited about coming up this weekend?" And you give them about 10 seconds to talk with each other, and then you use one of those attention getters and see how long it takes them to quiet down. You can make it into a game too, if it's becoming an issue with your group, and just say, "Hey, it took us 10 seconds to quiet down yesterday. Let's see if we can get that down to 5 seconds today." Right? Kids are competitive by nature, a lot of them, and so making it into a game like that can be really helpful. There's a few others that I like to use as well. So if your group is doing a group project or their partner work or something along those lines where it can get really noisy in the room, it's hard for them to hear any attention getter. So there's times where I will very loudly start by saying, bring it back in 5, and I put my hand up and I'm counting down, and as I get down to 3, 2, 1, my voice gets quieter as theirs gets quieter, and it alerts the rest of the room that, hey, we got to wrap this up, we're done. But it also, that respect thing, it gives them a moment to finish their conversation. We don't always have that time and that option. Sometimes it's, I need your attention now. But in those moments where you can, hey, let's just take a few seconds, wrap it up, and count down for them, it's giving them that opportunity to finish what they want to say and then turn their voice off. If it's really loud in the room, sometimes I just put the hand up and start counting. And part of it is I teach the kids when they see my hand up, they don't need to count verbally with me, but if they put their hand up and start counting down with me, it's a visual cue to others around who maybe did not hear, hey, we're wrapping things up. And so once they see or hear that we're counting down, they count down with you. And then once you get to 0, all voices should be off. Those are just a couple of things that I know we use at school and that work really well. It helps you, again, more calmly get their attention. It lets everybody know those expectations, especially if you practice it a few times. Any kids who aren't following those expectations, you can have a one-on-one conversation with. You know, when you're calling them out constantly in class or constantly yelling their name and saying, stop talking. They start to ignore it too because I'm always getting yelled at, I'm always in trouble, so why do I even bother? So for those couple of kiddos who maybe struggle to follow that set of directions and use those attention getters how they're supposed to be, have a one-on-one conversation when you have a moment. If there's 2 of you in the room, one of you can pull that student or those 2 students out into the hall and have a conversation. But if we're constantly just yelling and on top of these kids and getting more and more frustrated, they're going to feel that, they're going to get more frustrated as well, and it's just going to cause more frustration and more chaos as a whole. So that was it for today. If you have any questions about attention getters, if you want some more ideas besides what I mentioned in the video, I have lots up my sleeve that I've used over the years. But again, mix it up. Use a couple different ones throughout the week so that they're not always hearing the same one and starting to tune out those attention getters. Okay? All right. Have a good day, and we'll see you next time.